I sat here and watched this the other night. It consists of three distinct elements: the children, the investigators involved in the case, and the ice cream man. There was a lack of coherence in the interwoven narratives. This is shit in capitals. The ice cream man features Jan Michael Vincent. What a cunt of an actor. They even forgot to hyphenate his name on the DVD. I heard a rumor that on the set of Extra 2, he was so entitled that the rest of the cast held him in disdain. It took me exactly 1 hour and 15 minutes to finally realize that the loony nurse in this was Audra from 1990's It. I mean, I saw her name at the start credits and I'm like, cool, I'll look out for her. But I quickly forgot, and this preoccupied my mind, and it took me forever. It was near the end. Have you seen my dog? I'm like, oh shit, that's her. She looked like Nana Muscuri. This movie evoked bad memories of when I used to wear a vice grip on my head when displaying horror DVDs on my old YouTube channel. May God have mercy on this movie's soul, if it has one. I hate my fucking DVD collection this day and age. I even question if I'm a horror fan anymore. I'll give you a few demonstrations. PG-13 hippie shit from the early 70s. Pranks, aka the dawn that drip blood. 1 out of 10. It's woeful. There's some young kid as the killer. Spooky's Italian trash. What's with them mud... Oh, what were they called? Muckmen. What was with them letting off flatulent gas? It's retarded. Haunted? What a piece of 1 out of 10 caca. Trash. Avoid this. Look at this. A cemetery with a phone booth planted right dead center. You'd think that'd be an awesome concept, but I don't think that phone featured at all in the movie. It's hardly... Holy Christ. Do you see 1981 Scream? Avoid this. Oh, brother. It starts out with some animated gnomes lopping heads off. Then it cuts to this theme about a portrait of a ship's captain, subsequently followed by the quarterback from the Philadelphia Eagles, or Lou Gossett Jr., riding in on a horse, talking all this shit about his high seas adventures. Hello, fella, you are inland. They're inland, and what the freaking hell was this ocean sea theme? What did that have to do with any of the deserted Kansas barns and ghosts and all that tumbleweed shit? This is the worst. I gave this 1 out of 10 because of the rolling tumbleweeds. Let me give you a few examples why I despise and feel betrayed. Look at this shit. Bob Jenkins from the Langoliers in Witches. It goes for over 3 hours. Ed Gein in space. Are you kidding me? Bunny from Platoon in the remake of The Blob. It's 50-50. I want to get back to Evil Dead 2. Trash. Garbage. Rubbish. 5 out of 10. Blood Farmers, 1 out of 10. It's woeful. I want to get back to Cheerleader Camp as well. Anyone can deduce that Tourist Trap is a Texas Chainsaw wannabe. Chopping Mall is fine. Very disappointing. Sean on Tape did a great YouTube video on this, but what was with Leslie Nielsen's foray into horror movies? Sweet 16, very disappointing. Great cover art, but so-so movie. Iconic movie poster in the old video rental stores, but 50-50 movie. Trash, trash, trash. Just Before Dawn, the jury's still out on this movie. I'll sit on the fence. Trash. I guess it's okay. I like the dead corpses swinging by their necks on the trees at the end. Trash. 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 I actually gave this 10 out of 10 recently. The remake of this is fine, I guess. Trash. Chainsaw Sally. How could you go so wrong with such an awesome video cover? The movie is perplexed by its own inception. Amber, the highlight of this movie is a woman diddling her clit with a comb and filling a bathtub up full of pussy juice. Idiots on IMDb praise this movie to the hilt. Something stinks in here. I am sitting here watching this piece of shit called Jonah Lives, and this is exactly what I am talking about. It is batting 0, and I am struggling to write something for IMDb, and it's heading straight for a 0 out of 10. There was some other piece of shit in there called Varsity Blood or something along those lines that should have been this party here. I used to believe that I was part of the horror community once, but how the fuck can I be part of that fraternity when I don't even like the shits anymore? I haven't watched April Fool's Day in a long time and forget it, and no doubt it will be garbage, just like Happy Birthday to Me. See Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3. I unfairly gave these both 5 out of 10, but these are the closest we'll ever get to a Friday the 13th movie. They've got that feel about it, with the cabins and shit, obviously, but part 2, what the fucking hell was the ending? She just walks through the woods, hitches a ride, and it just ends. Where's the rest of the movie? I watched this last year, and actually, honestly, I forget how this concluded. What disheartens me, even to this day, is the absence of these characters in the actual movies. I'll give you demonstrations of what I'm talking about. Look at that awesome cover. I think the idiot from Texas Chainsaw directed this. It's 1 out of 10, but awesome 10 out of 10 cover. Was this actually in Evil Dead 2? Yes or no? Dead Before Dawn. Did this appear? I prefer the original VHS cover of this. It was yellow and it had a bit of comedy on it. I forget how it goes, but it was hilarious. 3 out of 10 cheerleader camp. I've made a pledge to watch this once every 10 years. Very, very disappointing. If this is your killer in the movie, that movie is boss. Same with Halloween 3. Was this in the actual movie? I was really disappointed when both Michael Myers and that didn't appear. You see this? If this is your killer in this movie, not this, that's shit. I don't like that. If this is your killer in Return to Horror High, this is my #1 movie. It looks like Linda from 78's Halloween. When I was a kid, we didn't have Betamax or VHS growing up until 1985, I believe. But that didn't prevent me from going in the old video rental stores. I was drawn to that world, man. The owners never mind me wandering in. I used to just browse and look at the posters. And I was always drawn to the horror section for some reason. Comedy, music, horror. I knew how to find my way there. And the most iconic movie posters ingrained up here. Uh, I Spit on Your Grave. A lot of these are terrible movies, but the movie posters stood out. You know, Halloween 2, Pam with that big hook up on the wall. I used to look at that and I'm like, oh, that must be painful. But I Spit on Your Grave, that was up there. Madman, this frightened the shit out of me, man. I thought this guy was coming for me. Not a great movie, but that was an awesome poster in the video stores. But my number one, the scariest one, was not this cover. Forget that cover of Slayer. Yuck, man. This is the authentic cover of the Slayer. 1982, I believe. This was a movie. I was allowed to watch anything I wanted other than Texas Chainsaw, I Spit on Your Grave, this. What else was there? There was Death Wish. There were a handful of movies I wasn't allowed to watch. I mean, I only watched this, 10 years ago, and it's shit. My cousin Wayne had VHS. He introduced us to all the classics. We used to go out there every Sunday, and you'd pick up these little square boxes, and it was like, how come we haven't got one of these? How come these movies don't appear on commercial TV? Although Halloween did. The first time my brother saw Halloween, he vomited his guts up, and because he vomited, I chucked up as well. The Slayer. Man, forget that video cover art. This is where it's at. The plot revolves around a troubled young woman dealing with mental health issues. It possesses a rather bleak and dull quality that fails to do justice to the impressive video cover art. You know, this was an integral part of my childhood growing up. But again, you know, I'm like a parrot. I say this every time. The movie just flatlines. The movie, from what I can recall, does this thing not appear till the very end when they open the door and it's standing there with all the lightning flashing? Which reminds me of that other movie, Superstition, when the monster comes out of the shithouse and all the wind and lightning striking. They fly over on a Cessna, and the quality, it's like they blunted it on the contrast. Very poor quality. It's about this woman who drinks coffee to stay awake, like in Elm Street. She burns herself with cigarettes. Does she pluck her fingernails out? I'm not sure. And I'm starting to think, was this thing just a figment of her imagination? Was she the one bopping everybody off? But you know, as a kid, all those years ago, I used to look at this and I stand there and I'm like, I have to see this one day. I wonder what I'm missing out on. What am I missing out on? Nothing, man. If I recall, I gave that movie 2 out of 10 on IMDb, when in fact I should have gave it 2 thumbs down out of 10. Take Pieces as another illustration. How could you go so wrong with a great title like that? Movie's dreadful. Some bland shit filmed in Spain with an Italian-like texture about it. The sole redeeming aspect I can remember is the decomposed body falling out of a closet toward the conclusion, but this doesn't save the rest of the movie. Prophecy. Adrian from Rocky and Ahmad Asante. Yeah, I hear you. Ahmad who? It's about a big, demented, sunburnt bear related to that monster from Demon Wind, which looked like a character from Alien Nation. In a handful of movies, perhaps 1 or 2 of these are fine. Graduation Day. Wasn't there an alternative cover to that? I don't remember it always looking like that. Either way, it's a 1 out of 10 movie. The Boogeyman, man, steer clear of part 2. I won't even go there. As for the first one, it's a 1 out of 10 movie. John Saxon's Welcome to Spring Break, didn't that always remind you of The Wrath? Whoops. Mother's Day, this was another iconic movie poster in the old video rental stores. It's a very bizarre movie to say the least. What was with that training montage? Like it was a Rocky movie? Oh, what? Fucking Frank Drebin in another horror movie? You know, I was laying in bed last night and it only occurred to me that I don't own part 2. I like part 2. Thanks for the ride, lady. And I beat you. But the damnedest thing, I was racking my brain. What's the first story? I remember there was cartoon animation. They eat meat. I have asked this before and I will say it again. Does a movie collection define who you are as a person? This gives new meaning to burning discs.